Thanks for joining me on my second video. I know on the second video we talked about how there were two options I felt that were available for my buddy who's in his late 30s and not feeling like this American dream is kind of panning out as we both think, because we're roughly in our midlife. I don't want to say crisis, but it certainly feels like stagnation. So we met up and we got to talking, and it popped up into my head that there could be a third option. So we're gonna walk and talk about it. But first, let's go over what the two options were originally. I told him military service and entrepreneurship. I have very little experience in entrepreneurship. I can tell you what I've been doing as far as that, but military service, I did 5 years in the United States Army. I enlisted in 2001. I signed up for originally 4 years, and I went Airborne Infantry, which was like the best and worst decision. No regrets, absolutely none. It afforded me a lot of cool benefits and opportunities, but when I enlisted I was 17. So if you're in your midlife, it's not really that great an option, in my opinion, because the infantry is tough. You need to be physically ready to take on that job and to do it deservingly as the country needs, right? Because I also don't think you should join the military just for the paycheck. It's an awesome option, or not even an option. It is a great benefit theoretically. I mean, you're not making much as a enlisted brand new private in the Army, but again, I don't think you should be joining the Army to get rich. There's not to say that you can't make the most of it, though, and that it is an excellent opportunity for someone looking at doing that. If you're in your midlife and you're thinking about enlisting, I would probably say talk to a recruiter and see what other MOSs are available. MOS stands for military occupational skill, and it's essentially your job that you'll be getting. You don't have to go infantry. Matter of fact, if you are in your late 30s, so the upper maximum of what the Army will let you be old enough to enlist in, you should probably look at doing a job that you are well skilled at, or can at least become good at. Because again, I don't think you should just join the Army or any military branch for that matter just for the paycheck. You should go in with the intent to be part of something bigger than yourself, which is definitely one of the aspects that I miss about the Army. I didn't feel like so alone in the Army. Met some of the best people in my life during the Army, and I was a kid, man, and so were these guys, and they ended up being really great adults too, man. So if I was looking at enlisting, I would hopefully not look at enlisting, to be honest. I have a bachelor's degree, so if you're in your late 30s and you're looking at military service, you have a bachelor's degree, figure out how to get into whatever military branch you're interested in as a commissioned officer. That would probably be priority for me as a person in late 30s, early 40s. Probably not early 40s. I think the maximum is like 41. So I'm well past that. But if you're in your late 30s and you're not feeling this American game, because it is what it is, you have a college degree of some kind, look at joining the military service. And this is essentially what I told my buddy while we were walking, and how he thought to himself that, like, man, it's a really terrible option where, like, I'm kind of paraphrasing what he said, but he said basically, in order to make it work according to my two options, he would have to basically die in a war overseas. And while I get that concept, because the military is there for combat reasons, you don't necessarily have to die. You don't have to look at it that way. Like I said, you don't have to join the infantry like I did right off the bat. It's really, I did that because I was 17 and the recruiter showed me some real cool videos of soldiers jumping out of planes and popping out of the water with guns, looking cool as hell. And so, of course, when he showed me the other jobs that he actually kindly suggested I go for instead of infantry, I kind of snubbed my nose at him. I believe one of them was like radar communications person. He showed me the video of that, and the guy is basically sitting inside a truck looking at a computer screen, and I was like, lame. No thanks. I don't know, probably should have went for that job. Probably would have paid off more after military service. But in any case, we got to talking, and a third option kind of popped up into my head. A third option is the healthcare industry. It kind of comes with stipulations, right? I say the healthcare industry like nursing because, man, especially here in Florida, that industry, employees are high in demand. You kind of have really solid job security and this kind of pathway to escape the what feels like the impossibility to have money to save. I got another buddy who is currently an RN, because he made that transition to the healthcare industry, but he had to take out student loans and put in the work in order to like get that certification. So time and money is still a necessary investment in order to make that dream kind of come true. So again, I think it's a solid third option if you're willing to stay here and continue to kind of grind it out, go to school and your off time. So probably wondering why even come up with these three options of military service, entrepreneurship and healthcare. Well, I'm not trying to convince anybody to leave the United States. Leaving is my decision, and that's all. I got my separate logic for that. And I have a timeline. I'm ready. I am, like I was stating before, is that for me personally, I think this late in the game, early 40s, I don't foresee that by the time I am retirement age, that I will really be able to kind of enjoy it. It feels like if I decided to grind it out here, that I am gonna be, I don't know, at least twice as tired, because I'm pretty tired now. It's just, these options are for my buddy, and my choice is my choice to leave, and I got 12 months to make that happen. I've decided that Colombia, South America, is the best move for me. And I have a little bit of a plan that I'm trying to sort out in order to make that happen. Been doing lots of research, and those will all be topics from my next video. So to wrap it up, I'm so curious, what other options am I missing, or are we missing? What can I tell my friend? What do you think? Let me know your comments. Which one of the three would you pick? And if you're interested, let's also talk about my adventure, my next adventure to leave the country to Colombia. All right, I'll catch you guys on the next video.